Over 10,000 ultra-conservative Muslims demonstrated Friday in downtown Cairo to demand that Egypt's new constitution be based on the rulings of Islamic law, or Sharia, in the latest tussle over the role of religion in the country's future. The writing of the constitution has been fraught with controversy since last year's political uprising that toppled longtime autocrat Hosni Mubarak and ushered in the rise of formerly repressed Islamists to power. But Islamists themselves are not in agreement over the interpretation of Sharia and its place in the document. Demonstrators in Tahrir Square demanded that the Muslim Brotherhood, the powerful Islamist group from which the country's new president Mohammed Morsi hails, override liberal and secular objections and include language that could see religious scholars influencing what can become law. Sharia is our constitution, and the people demand the application of God's law, they chanted. The controversy surrounding the Constitution is centered on the wording of the Second Amendment. In the former Constitution, the wording stated that the principles of Islamic Sharia are the basis of legislation. This wording is favored by liberals because they say it meets the broad ideas of Islam. Ultra-conservatives are pushing for more, though. They want the wording changed to state that the basis of law will be the rulings of Sharia, implying Egypt's laws would have to abide by clerical interpretation. The current 100-member panel writing the charter is led by the Muslim Brotherhood. There are 8 women and a Christian on the panel. It is the second constitutional assembly to be formed, with the first body dissolved by court order earlier this year after liberals and seculars walked out over complaints that Islamists were trying to dominate the process. Ongoing controversy over the wording of the charter has thrown into question when the draft will be complete. Panel members say they plan to put the charter to a nationwide referendum before the end of the year. However, liberals on the panel are again threatening to walk out, and Islamists writing the draft are under pressure from more conservative groups to strongly enshrine Sharia in the constitution. Egypt's new Coptic Pope, Tawadros II, said this week that the constitution will not be acceptable if it is overly religious. Courts are currently reviewing lawsuits calling for the assembly to be disbanded for a second time. Egypt's 2 most powerful political parties, the Brotherhood and more conservative Salafi Noor Party, said they were not participating in Friday's protest, although many of their supporters did. The 2 groups, which hold an influential number of seats in the Constitutional Assembly, have said protests are premature since the constitution is still being written. Many were busting from outside Cairo to take part in Friday's rally, which was significantly smaller without the organized support of the Brotherhood. Hassan Abdel Hamid, from a town near the Mediterranean port city of Alexandria, said parents should support Sharia because it will deter the harassment of women. Don't be afraid of the application of Sharia, because if your daughter is coming home late at night nobody will harass her because he will face Sharia's punishment and retribution, Abdel Hamid said. Seeking to mollify ultra-conservatives who accuse the Brotherhood of not advocating strongly enough for Islamic rule, the constitutional panel is now discussing adding a new article that would explain what the principles of Islamic Sharia are. People are scared of the application of Sharia, but I am telling Muslims and Christians and everyone that Islam is a mercy on all of us because it is based on the Quran's rules, protester Gaber Mohammed said. Mohammed, like many of those protesting Friday, is a member of a party set up by the Jamaah Islamiyah, once the country's largest militant group that has since renounced violence. Protesters waved the black Islamist flag and the Egyptian flag, and held traditional Friday prayers in the square after a sermon by conservative preacher, Mohammed al-Sabher. My brothers, the Egyptian people love God, the Prophet Muhammad and the Kaaba, he said, referring to the Q-shaped structure in Mecca toward which Muslims pray 5 times a day.